What is up, car addicts? In this video, we'll be talking about this week's Triple Money Event Week as well as the property and vehicle discounts. This event week is for February 17th through February 23rd, 2022. Also, for those of you who don't know, two vehicles were added to the prize ride list. Those are the regular Nero, which is on the prize ride today, and the Comet S2 Cabrio, which will most likely release next week. But anyways, the current prize ride for this week is the True Fade Nero. This car is primarily based on the Bugatti Chiron. It has a normal price of about 1.4 million. So to get this car for free, you have to place top 3 in a Pursuit Series race for 5 days in a row. So they're back to the 5 days in a row thing, which I think is kind of annoying, but I guess this is a higher end vehicle, so they're definitely making you work for it. Now, the regular Nero is a quick car for both lap time and top speed, but it's a ways off the pace, below top 20 for track performance. It unfortunately doesn't make it to the top 10 for top speed either. There's just too many newer quick supercars we've gotten over the years. This one's just been pushed further and further down the totem pole over the years. And even though the test ride vehicles for the last 2 event weeks had nothing to do with the prize ride, I'm still going to cover them anyways because they are random and changing every week. So for this week, those are the Issy Sport, the Nero that we have on the prize ride, so maybe that could mean something, and the Spectre, so interesting choices there. Now, in terms of the casino podium vehicle, we have the Ocelot Penetrator. This car is primarily based on the Jaguar XJ220 concept, which is just a gorgeous car. It has a normal price of $880,000, but the customization for it is pretty average. Now, in terms of performance, this car is around 30th place, which is roughly around the pace of the OG Entity for lap time. So not too bad of a performance there, but it's definitely not going to be winning you any supercar races if other players are using top tier supercars and have a decent skill level. But either way, it's a good car to own because of its styling, and one I highly recommend for those of you car collectors out there. So, starting off with the property discounts, we have 30% off the special vehicle cargo warehouses, which is awesome. These are, of course, the warehouses used for the import-export business. Next up, we have 30% off the vehicle workshop upgrade for the agency. Very random, but I guess for those of you who didn't install this upgrade for whatever reason, now you can get it at a cheaper price for your agency. Moving on to the vehicle discounts, we have 30% off the Jubilee, which was one of the cars that was added with the contract DLC. It is a Rolls-Royce inspired vehicle with the interior of a mid-2000s SUV. Not really all that great, but it does offer Imani tech, so that's definitely something. Next up, we have 40% off the Deity. So this car is in the sedans class, not really all that fast, but it does offer Imani tech as well, so that's a plus. Moving along, we have 20% off the BR8, which is the fastest open wheel car for open wheel races. So make sure you pick this one up this week if you don't own one already, guys. Next up, we have 20% off the PR4. So this one used to be the king before the BR8 came along, but the BR8 is cheaper than the PR4 and it's a lot faster. I don't see the point in even considering buying the PR4 unless you're building like a race car garage or something. Moving on to the San Andreas website, we have 30% off the Patriot Mil-Spec, one of the best vehicles in the DLC alongside the Buffalo STX, at least in my opinion. It offers an exclusive interior, great customization, and the Imani tech as well. It's just a good overall package and a great vehicle to own. Next up, we have 30% off the Issy Sport, one of the best sleeper cars in the game. It arguably has the best handling in the sports car class and places itself in top 10 for lap time in the sports class, which is very impressive. Plus, it's the best car by far for rally style off-road races, so I highly recommend getting this one this week, guys, if you don't own it already. It's a great price for this car for sure. Moving along, we have 30% off the Issy Classic. So this car is in the compacts class and has really good customization and styling, but unfortunately it has the slow handling flags, which just makes this car a very annoying driving experience. Next up, we have 100% off the regular Issy, making it free for this week. And honestly, I don't understand the point in this discount because you can normally get this car off the street for free anyways, but I guess that's some Rockstar logic there. Moving on to the Bennies website, we have 30% off the Elegy GTB, which is a nice car for top speed, but not so much for handling. And we also have 25% off the Bennies custom conversion cost for this car as well, bringing that cost down to only $371,000, plus of course the initial cost of the car. Now the custom variant is faster, but the regular one does handle better, so that's something to think about there. Moving along, we have 30% off the Nero, which is the prize ride vehicle for this week. Kind of a strange decision there, how it's also discounted this week, but there you go. And also the Bennies custom conversion cost for this car is 25% off, bringing that cost down to $453,000. Now the custom version of the Nero is faster for both lap time and top speed, so it's a nice upgrade over the Nero for sure. However, do keep in mind that you will lose the active aero spoiler from the regular Nero, which I honestly love that feature. So that's why I personally have both the regular and the custom versions of the Nero in my garage. Next up, we have 25% off the Bennies custom conversion cost for the FCR 1000, bringing that cost down to $147,000, which is a pretty good deal for a Bennies bike. And lastly, we have 25% off the custom conversion cost for the Elegy, which turns it into the Elegy Retro, arguably the most popular Bennies vehicle ever made, and there's a good reason for it. It's just an overall good car with both amazing customization and performance as well. And with the discount this week, that Bennies custom conversion cost is only $678,000, which I think is an absolute steal for this car. In terms of vehicle upgrade discounts, Imani Tech is 25% off this week, which is awesome. So for those of you who don't have Imani Tech on some of your cars, now would be the best time to install it. In terms of triple money, we have triple money NRP on the Vespucci Job Adversary mode, a pretty fun one to do with friends, but honestly the slow handling flags of the SC Classic makes it a bit annoying sometimes. Next up, we have triple money NRP on open wheel races. So these pay out a ton of RP for the top 3 positions with a full lobby. So for those of you who are looking to level up your character, if you're a decent racer, this is by far the best way to do that this week. In terms of double money, we have double money NRP on bodyguard and associate salaries, which is nice for when you're helping your friends out. Next up, we have double money NRP on the normal time trial this week, which means you can get 200,000 from it. Pretty good amount there. And for those of you who don't know, remember that you can only complete time trials once a week for the full payout. And lastly, we have 1.5 times money NRP on import-export. Honestly, I wish it was double, but it always seems to be 1.5 times money when they do this business for some reason. But even with that, it's still a decent payout. However, it's still nowhere near as good as Caio Perico Solo. Moving on to the Prime Gaming discounts for Prime Gaming members only. So again, same as the last few months, we sadly don't have any Prime Gaming discounts currently in game. The only thing we have is the usual free 100,000 for logging in during the event week period. At this point, I think they're just going to scrap Prime Gaming altogether when expanded and enhanced releases. And lastly, this week's RC Bandito time trial is Cemetery. This week's normal time trial is End to End, which is paying out double money in RP this week. I highly recommend either the Pariah, Itali GTO, Divest 8, a Batty 801, or a Reaver holding a wheelie for this time trial. And the premium race for this week is the Supercar Race Cutting Coroners. I highly recommend either the Emerus, Krieger, Wagner, or S80RR for this race. Every Friday I post a guide on how to easily beat the time trials and premium race, so stay tuned for that if you're new. Anyways guys, hope this was helpful. Overall, this is a very good event week in my opinion, with a good variety and a ton of vehicle discounts as well. If we would have had maybe some more stock website vehicle discounts added, I think it would have been one of the best overall event weeks we've had in a while, but even then, it's still a very good event week for sure. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.